and this is Sharon with another Kemetic Byte. I'm going to start right off with the question that I've got today. This is from Devin DeMack, and I hope I'm saying these names right as I get them. His question is, how do you feel about Atonism, being the monotheistic worship of Aten? Well, I'm going to devote most of this byte to that answer. First of all, I think people either love it or hate it for all of the wrong reasons. Either they love it because, oh, well, Atonism, that's a monotheism, just like Judeo-Christianity or Islam, right? Or they hate it because, oh, it's a monotheism that suppressed the old gods, just like Judeo-Christianity and Islam. As a result, Akhenaten, the founder of Atonism, has inherited a whole lot of completely unrelated baggage. And I say unrelated because, keep in mind, the origins of monotheism, as we know it in ancient Israel, didn't happen. Ancient Israel did not become a true monotheism until very late in the monarchy. This would have been some 500 years or so after Akhenaten's time. And therefore, any connection between Atonism in Egypt and early monotheism in ancient Israel is very doubtful. There are a lot of people who tried to make a connection between the two, but there's no direct evidence of a link between them. If you'd like to learn more about these topics, I have several books that I can request. For one, this was my source, and this is Akhenaten and Tutankhamun, Revolution and Restoration. It's by David P. Silverman, Joseph Wagner, and Jennifer Hauser Wagner. Wagner or Wagner, I'm not sure. This was published by the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. I bought the book when I went to Philadelphia to see the sister exhibit they had. There was the Tutankhamun exhibit and then one that they put on. The museum they have there is wonderful. And this book really gets into a lot of new ideas about the Amarna period. I used those, of course, in Following the Sun. And in Following the Sun, I talk about some of the new ideas that you have regarding Atonism. For example, was it really a monotheism, or was it kind of a reverse divine triad with Aten, then Akhenaten, and his wife Nefertiti? Was there actually instead of being something completely new, was he actually harking back to solar worship from the Old Kingdom? And was there a political motivation as well as a religious for some of the changes he made? Now, if you want to know more about monotheism in ancient Israel and whether or not it really was, in the very early days, it may not have been, what the Old Testament necessarily says, I highly recommend Did God Have a Wife by William G. Dever. This guy is a biblical archaeologist, but he's brilliant. There's another book he wrote about who are the ancient Israelites and where did they come from. And he cites the Amarna letters and a lot of other Egyptian texts to try to puzzle out what was going on in ancient Canaan at that point. And if you're interested in Canaanite Reconstructionism, also called Natib Kaddish, this book would be probably a great source of inspiration for you. So that's some reading material for you. Now, as for Atonism as a religion, especially in a modern context, I think it could coexist with modern paganism with some modifications. If you think about it, this was a religion that the rituals involved making material offerings, burning incense, playing sistrums, reciting hymns, just like other forms of Kemeticism. Upholding Ma'at was an important part of the Aten religion. In many respects, it wasn't any different from the pre-existing religion. It's just the one innovation really was exclusive monotheism, and instead of having an icon statue, hey, Aten is in the sky. If you take out the exclusive part, then you could have just another sister sect of Kemeticism. Could Atonism be the Kemetic form of monolatry that people are looking for? Who knows? And ironically, because of the fact that it doesn't have as much baggage as Judeo-Christianity and Islam do, the long history that they have, it might have a little bit more flexibility. Here's something to keep in mind. Atonism, at its longest, was being practiced for only about 30 years out of an entire, 3,000 year span of history in ancient Egypt. If you consider that modern Wicca has been around twice as long as Atonism, that's something that anything that we picked up today, it would be an innovation. There'd be a lot of things that you could inject into it if somebody was interested in that. And as for Akhenaten, the founder of Atonism, personally, I try not to judge him. He had his reasons. We don't know what all of them were. It would be very difficult to put ourselves in his shoes and understand why he did the things he did. But beyond that, I honor Tutankhamun, and he probably heard enough crap about his dad during his lifetime. Why should we add to it? That's my personal opinion. Now, I'm going to be adding some actual episodes of the Kemetic How-To Guide very soon, and you might also notice that now I have a new feature on the channel, which is fan funding. I just was able to set this up, and what I'm hoping to do, if you viewers will be willing to assist with that, I'd like to start traveling and do some episodes from museums throughout the central United States. There's an exhibit going on in Dallas pretty soon that is centered on sacred cats, or the exhibit is called Divine Felines of Ancient Egypt. Obviously, we can't go in and videotape the items themselves, but there might be something that we can do, surrounding the exhibit. Little things like that. Be able to travel to some pagan festivals. Mabon just passed, and that's the typical time when you have a lot of Pagan Pride Day events. But there are other things that go on at different times of the year. And so if you'd like to have your event covered, support this channel, and also let me know what kind of events are going on. I'm going to start within the region, but who knows? As time goes on, maybe we can go and, maybe even see some things overseas. So I could be coming to your town. With that in mind, hopefully this will give you some food for thought, and we'll see you next time. Senebti.